Hello and welcome to Called the Homeschool episode number 293. It will all work out. Friends, I don't know how many of you are listening over Christmas break, but I wanted to put something out there just in case you're listening maybe when you are going on a little walk or cleaning up or just doing whatever, just a short and sweet message um, about what was on my mind and my heart. And so I am excited to share this with you today. I was reflecting as the end of the year, a lot of times we do, on my 2024 year. And there were some big changes in our family this year. One of the first big changes was my son got married. We had our first wedding, and there was a lot to plan, and it was all very new to me. So that was a really big change of now, like, what does that look like? What dynamic of what do birthdays look like? What do holidays look like? Now I share my kid, but I also gained a new kid, right? So a lot of fun, awesome changes with that. Another big change was my son leaving on his mission, another son, and so many big emotions with that one. And as I've been reflecting on it, and I was like, why did this one hit me so stinking hard? And some of my guesses were is because he's my middle child, and so it kind of was the tipping point where now I have more adult children than minors, and I have more kids living out of the house than I do in the house. And for my first time in, I don't know, 2 decades, I have an empty bedroom. And that is so weird to me. And it was so weird. My husband actually, he got really sick. It was he's okay, but like he had a really bad cough. And I was like, well, I guess I'll go sleep in our kids' old bed. Like we can do these types of things that I have an extra room. So like I was teasing him, like, thanks for letting me use your bed while you don't live here. So that was a really big change, a big transition in our home. And it was a big adjustment for me. Another change this year was our homeschool because I have the three kids at home and my oldest teen living at the house. She is 100% independent and she doesn't do any group subjects with us and she doesn't do any read alouds with us. She just does all her school independently. And then my other next teenage son is doing less and less with us. And so one of the big changes is doing a lot of school with just one kid and figuring out how to make that work. And school can be done so fast without toddlers and babies destroying things. But figuring out how that looks and how to meet some of his needs that I before didn't have to do because if a kid was bored, it was like, great, you have like 1,000 brothers and sisters here, so you can go play with one of them. And now that's not an option because the teens are often out of the house and doing a bunch of cool classes. So lots of crazy, wild things to figure out this year. Um, but I realized as I was reflecting with some of these changes that during the time, some of them felt hard, some of them felt stressful. When my son left on his mission, I cried so hard, felt like a piece of my heart had just been taken. However, everything has been figured out every time. With all the stresses of planning a wedding, with all the changes, with all of that, it all got figured out and it was a spectacular and beautiful wedding. Everything with my son, and we even had some visa issues. It all got figured out. Everything got figured out. Homeschool, homeschooling one kid. In the beginning, I was like, this is going to be so hard and terrible, and I don't know how this is going to look. And do I look into like a little private school or a little mini school, a micro school, so that he can get out with a couple days with the kids? And I figured it all out. We didn't have to do that route, but like I was able to figure out some things to help meet his needs. It all got figured out every time. Um, it wasn't like, will we, what, sorry, I can't read my notes. Oh, okay. It all was figured out. There we go. Sorry about that. So think about your year. What was hard? What was stressful? What big changes did you have? Did it get figured out? Did the problem get resolved? If you're still in the middle of it, maybe it hasn't yet, but the stuff that is past, that is, maybe it was wrapping up your first school year in May of 2024, of like, I had no idea what I was doing, and we figured it out. Whatever it was for you that came up for you, did you figure it out? It's so interesting that how much time we all spend worrying about problems. about things that like what could happen, what are we going to do about it? I don't know. And just spending so much time in that worry. And I know I'm totally guilty of this, of worrying about like the wedding and different things with that, worrying about my kid. And was worried about his visa and it got switched to something. And then while he was in the MTC, I was worried about different things. So it's just been so interesting, like how much time I wasted in worry this year. So maybe this episode is for me, but I hope it is helpful for you too, but a reminder that everything gets figured out. There's a quote I love from Gordon B. Hinckley, and it says, "Carry on. Things will work out. If you keep trying and praying and working, things will work out." They always do. This has really been hitting home with me. I love that. Carry on. Things are working out, but it's not carry on and sit around on your phone. It's carry on. Try, pray, and work. Things will work out. Like that is your formula right there. Try, pray, and put in the work. And things will work out. Each year is going to bring new changes and new obstacles. I don't know what all the changes are going to be for next year. I don't know what my obstacles are going to be next year. I know one of them, one of our changes is my daughter will come home and then she'll leave again. And then she'll come home and then she'll leave again. And then she's like, then I don't know what I'm doing. So she'll be home for a little bit, for who knows how long. Right. But I am working on for myself of moving into this trust, into this faith with God that everything works out because it always does. And it has been powerful. I've been working on this just honestly, like the last month of just like, I don't want to spend time worrying about this because it always works out. But so why don't I spend that time trying, praying, and working? Because then I'm actually going to get results versus just sitting in worrying and stressing myself out. I know that as you continue to put forth effort, trust in God, that you will also be able to figure out any obstacle that may come in your path this week, next year, in life, any of the things that I hope you too can trust in God and know that it will all work out. Love you all. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas and a happy new year. Have a good one, friends.